boys.
Yeah, you said congrats, 10 boys.
Nice. There's 10 boys.
You got too horny, and that's why.
I don't want him to come. Jake, how horny does this make you?
Very horny.
It's one big joke. Believe me, Minnesota sports in all sorts. You see, they know it's never gonna get easy. You see, they know it's Minnesota, constant pain and misery.
And I'm a part of Al Qaeda.
It's 10K TV. It's one big joke. Believe me, Minnesota sports. In all sorts.
Dude, he could turn Daniel Jones into Brett Favre.
Minus the penis pics.
Yeah. You can legally smoke crack.
What is a DVOA?
I went dicks, vaginas, or ass.
I think that's what it is.
Don't know much except to yell.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of 10K TV presented by 10,000 Takes. My name is Boss Man. I am joined by Sarge producing. We got journalist Jake here. And just want to start off with a little iteration of something we put out on our socials today. We lost a member of our crew, Tony Steggyman, went by Steggy. He's a father, a friend, just an overall good guy. Lost his battle with bladder cancer. I know he had been really battling with it for years. Hadn't been with our crew for too long until it came back, and I was just always checking in with him, and it's just unfortunate to hear that he passed away on Saturday. But life sucks.
Yeah, he was a great guy. I was fortunate to meet him a couple times in person, talked with him a lot over the last year or so when he was a part of this. Created some very funny
Great memes.
content and memes for the Vikings. Like, he fit the brand perfectly, but I mean, he was just a great dude. Always super happy, positive to do whatever, and had great energy about life and everything. So
Yeah.
it sucks when we heard that, but yeah, it's just it's unfortunate. So prayers to his family and everybody that knows him well. But yeah, he was a great dude.
I saw someone say the Wolves got to win it for him.
Yeah,
And I
Agreed.
believe in it now.
yeah.
Let's
I
manifest
think
it.
we really need the Wolves to win now for Stiggy. So
Yeah.
Wolves for Stiggy.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm all for it.
So yeah, we closed out the Warriors 4-1. Second series we've won 4-1. When people say Wolves in 5, it's fucking true, dude. I don't know what else to say. I mean, we're a 5-game machine, 4 wins, easy.
Yeah, and in both of those series, we probably could have swept them too.
Yeah.
We could probably be 8-0. We always had that one dud of a game where the other team I felt still played horrible, the Lakers and Golden State. So you know what? Maybe we should fuck it. Wolves in 4. Let's get to our first finals appearance or amongst any Minnesota team in our lifetime, and do it in 4 games.
Yeah.
So why not?
Especially helped that Curry didn't play. I saw someone in a Timberwolves group on Facebook. It's bad on Facebook when they post, not a post itself, but a picture of text on a screen. That's a post. And it's always old people that
Yep.
do that. I don't know why Facebook gives you the option to generate these. They don't feel like they add any more value than just writing the words. It feels like you're just doing an extra step by posting a photo of words.
I think I have a theory on why specifically old people do this. It's because that's the only way they can read the text.
Yeah,
it's
good
probably
point,
too
'cause
small. When they read just a basic post.
It always shows up and it's just fucking huge. And
So they read it.
we had Dominic Bueno, which sounds almost like a Spanish superhero,
Or made up.
Bueno, good. Timberwolves had an easy win without Curry. I'm not impressed. Are they supposed to
Great take.
lose?
Yeah. What are they supposed to do?
They won 4-1. The only game they lost is when Curry played, and they didn't make any 3-pointers. What did you want them to do?
I know.
You want them to blow them out by 40 instead of 20?
There's a negative part of my brain that wants to kind of think that too, but we destroyed them.
Yes.
We won 4-1. We did what we needed to do. I still think the Wolves could have beat them with Curry. I really do. I think it could have went to 6 or 7 games, obviously. But if they went to if they would have dropped game 5 or even game 4, like on that Saturday night, which they easily could have because they just weren't hitting shots and they struggled, and it went to game 6 or 7 without having played Curry in those 4 games, then I'd be a little more like, okay, why didn't we take care of business earlier? But we took care of business when we needed to without their best player. They still had a decent squad on the court. They're still a team that you're still in the second round. It's still Golden State, coached by Steve Kerr, who has a son named after a racial slur.
Yep.
And we're not going to let that down.
Nope.
But we still did what we needed to do. I think I don't know. That's just a stupid post. That goes back to, like, we're all negative. Minnesota fans can be negative and all that, but that's just a bit of a stretch of trying to find the negativity in a team that's going to a conference finals for the second year in a row.
Yeah, and especially I think something the Wolves did really well in those last few games is they just played full comprehensive team ball. Like, especially on Wednesday, it didn't feel like there was a particular player that stole the show. I mean, Ant played great. Mike Connolly was making a lot of threes. Naz Reid was dropping some shots. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I don't think had an air ball in the first quarter, which was a pretty good step up from him. Jaden McDaniels. I mean, Rudy was, once again, the tallest guy on the court, getting rebounds, drawing fouls. His hands are still made of bricks, though. Sometimes it's really infuriating to watch him try to catch and shoot the basketball. I get it when you're 7 feet tall and your arms are longer than 2x4s because you're just built like Slender Man, but he's got, I don't know if there's like drills for hand-eye coordination. There's got to be something he can do. And I'm not trying to point out the negative. This started as me listing that everyone played well. It's still infuriating watching Rudy Gobert try to get rebounds and catch passes.
You guys, the goalie drills with the tennis balls.
Yeah.
That's what he needs to do. Right?
Maybe with basketballs, just like on the wall. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Double dribble drill. There's got to be some hand-eye coordination basketball specialists out there that could help him out, but it's sometimes just infuriating. But he was getting rebounds. Playoff Julius continues to be consistently our best player, just across multiple games. I don't know what the stats are, but I know he's at double-digit points every game, double-digit rebounds, probably double-digit assists, like dropping triple-doubles probably every other game, double-doubles. I mean, he's a dog.
He's been the role player. He's making it look more obvious that we don't need Karl Anthony Towns, even though Cat is doing well for the Knicks. Good for them. Great, grand, wonderful. But this trade, I think, has been fine. It's been great, especially since we got DiVincenzo, and he's been lighting it up. You know, he's gone cold a couple times, but when he's gone cold, the whole team's been cold. So it's not like you can't put it all on him. But DiVincenzo, what people been calling him, or Ginger Jesus or whatever.
Yeah.
People are like, no, he's
Sam Darnold's gone.
Yeah,
Dude, how about that dunk he had on Wednesday?
Yeah.
So he gets that steal, right? Kind of in his classic style. You know, just breaks up a play, is just a pest to play against, gets a huge rebound, charges down the court, and I thought he was going to just kind of lay one off the fingers, but he gets up high and dunks it and hangs onto the rim for like a couple seconds.
I thought he was going to get a tech.
Yeah, but our jaws were dropped. We're like, holy shit, that white guy can get up there. It's impressive stuff that he can do something like that.
I think we were saying, or I think I might have said something like, yeah, white men can jump.
Like a guy with red hair and freckles has no business jumping that high.
He like launched almost from the free throw line too. Like he did. I thought he was going to go in and make the layup, but no, he just launched off like he had like Mike's shoes on. You know what I mean? Like, or Michael Jordan shoes from that movie.
Salt in your shoes, kind of that. Going back to that whole bit.
It's insane what he did there. But yeah, we need more of that. More of that white thunder out of not DiVincenzo. I don't know.
Thunder.
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah,
maybe that's a new bit.
Ginger Jesus parentheses. Now that Sam Darnold's gone.
Yeah. On a personal note, I will say I just realized how this is lining up for me. If this series goes to 6 or 7 games to decide it, I will miss the moment a Minnesota team, if they win this, if this goes to 6 or 7 and the Timberwolves win, I will miss the moment to witness a Minnesota team going to a championship for the first time since 1991, because I will be in the Boundary Waters where there's absolutely no service. And it's the Boundary Waters is an amazing place. I recommend anyone going up there if they have a chance. It's a beautiful area. It's great part of the wilderness. It's amazing experience when you get no service. But we planned this out like last fall, so I didn't know it was going to land on this. But I was looking at there's a chance I'd miss if the Wolves make it to the finals. I won't know, and if they do, I might miss the first game of the NBA Finals too. So it's like this sucks. But at the same time, I won't miss.
You wouldn't miss games 6 and 7 of the finals, though.
Right, exactly.
That would be even worse.
Exactly. It's just kind of weird to know that if it goes to games, if it goes past the game 5, I will not know what happens until I get back that next Thursday or Friday, and which could be already a game 1 or 2 into a final series. So I'll either be in for a rude awakening or be very happy. But yeah, it's better than missing an actual championship.
I feel like that's going to be hard to have peace of mind and enjoy nature with the thought of, especially if the series is tied.
Well, you know what?
You know it's going to be in the back of your head the entire time.
I'll be one with actual Timberwolves
Yeah.
up there and maybe some Bears. So
I feel like a Rudy Gobert, how he went on the darkness retreat.
Yeah.
Just do that. Just find some darkness and
I'm going to be doing a retreat in the middle of the playoffs too, because maybe it's going to be, if it goes to game 6, that means this series is going to be grueling. It's going to be stressful. It's like, I'm going to find this a nice retreat, find my zen, and not watch the last 2 games and just let it take place without me knowing. Maybe that'd be peaceful.
Reach acceptance, accept either result.
And then view it after, but then proceed to punch a hole in my wall when I return after.
You break the colored pencil you've been taking notes with, Sarge.
Correct.
It'd be better if we do live in 2025. We have pens, which have been around beyond way before 2025.
Well, the 10K studio doesn't have pens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We probably should. Yeah, that actually makes sense. We're not very.
Brown crazy art marker.
We're not supply savvy in here. We're not,
Here's
which
a
is
brown
fine.
crazy art marker that I'm pretty sure Jake and I bought in 2016 to make a sign for
The college game morning.
game day. This is, I think, when we actually went to game day at like 4 a.m.
Oh, we went to game day and we actually had the sign that said something about, I forgot what the sign was.
And you couldn't read our sign because we got there at 4 a.m., which is apparently too late, and we weren't even close to
What?
Yeah.
We got in
There's a million
to the main
signs.
area, but
It's a scam. It's a scam.
You're better off getting a sign on a stick and getting there later and just sitting on the outskirt of the railing and just getting it way up there. And
Bringing a fucking oar.
Yeah.
Attaching it to that. That'd be actually ironic for Row the Boat.
It would be.
So I have a question for you guys. Do you feel we've gotten our full revenge on Jimmy Butler? Does it feel like, for the way he kind of tormented our franchise and disrespected our fan base, and even in the press conferences when everyone was asked about playing Minnesota, he's like, I'm worried about how I'm going to get my espresso machine up there. Like, he just showed no respect to a place he used to play for. Does it feel like, do we feel any level of satisfaction about it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the boat where that's like 5-6 years ago now, where I'm like, and we'll talk about it more later about fans, but like, I feel like we're past that now, and we clearly have a better franchise, better coach than when he was around.
Better superstar.
But we have I think with the day we drafted Anthony Edwards, it was almost just a kind of, we were on the path of getting revenge on Jimmy Butler, and I think that now it's come finally full circle here, beating them in this playoff series. I think we're definitely have.
Yeah.
100%.
So now that we got OKC, who grinded out a 7-game series, the rest, I think, was huge. I think, once again, that's one benefit of getting it done in 5 games is you have 2 games off, or you have 2 games that you don't have to play that another team has to play. You got to think that's going to be an advantage. But the big question I have for you guys, do you think if we beat them, we can stop seeing the AT&T commercials where they're all dressed the same? Because I'm so fucking over that commercial of SGA.
Oh, yeah.
And
Chet
and the other guy wearing those stupid fucking blue hats and the sport coats and being all confused that they all dress the same. I'm sick of it. You know what? I don't think I could have hated that commercial as much as I hated the one last year where they're like singing a song together and they do that weak little handshake. It's just AT&T they got to be better. They got to be better.
They try to make these like really awkward athletes that have no acting experience, and they try to do all these like High School Musical-esque rehearsed crap.
We've already talked about it with DiVincenzo and the visor, how he puts it on. You know, when
Yeah,
they
that
see him
one
in the
can go,
tunnel and
too.
they throw it. It's time to be done. Just bring back Lily. Bring her back.
Oh yeah, where's Lily, the AT&T chick?
I think her tits were too big.
yeah, she might.
I
They
think
might.
people-
I think she.
I'm not kidding about that. I think
think-
people got way too horned up about
They
it,
did.
and they missed the message.
The porn guys on the internet ruined it.
Sarge.
Ruined Lily from
It's
AT&T.
not working.
The button isn't.
No.
Well, what were your thoughts on Lily?
She was very smart.
Yes.
Very smart.
Okay.
The commercials were funny though when she was on.
Yeah,
Like
they're entertaining. Genuinely.
they knew what they were doing though.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, they're very awkward commercials with those athletes.
It wouldn't make sense for them to keep airing this commercial if we knock OKC out of the playoffs, right? Because then it's just kind of like a sour taste in your mouth if you're just an objective basketball fan.
I don't know. I think how marketing and ad campaigns work, I think they're definitely going to keep probably playing it.
I guess
just
it's
'cause
kind of like the Whopper commercial, right?
Yeah,
It
the
just
Whopper.
never really ended.
And like I'm pretty sure Steph Curry's in a commercial, and like I thought there was something in the NFL. Like I've seen NFL commercials all the time where they clearly film it before the season, and then that team and athlete don't even make the playoffs.
Aaron
They
Rodgers
suck.
commercial.
Yeah, and they're just shit the bed, or they get injured. And I mean, Kirk Cousins was in his Pizza Ranch commercials,
Yeah.
you know, back in the day, and
With a snapped Achilles.
oh man, snap. Yeah,
or
those Pizza
even
Ranch
I've noticed
commercials.
Golf right now is running a Tiger comeback ad about how he came back
Yeah.
and how anything's possible, and now he's done again.
Yeah, he's done.
It's kind of awkward showing it. It's like, well, he just snapped his Achilles
Yeah.
and his legs are destroyed, and he's dating Donald Trump Jr.'s ex-wife, and but yeah, he came back and won the 2019 Masters. That was sick.
He could do it again, I guess.
Yeah.
Off an injury, 2020.
2029 maybe.
The 2029 Masters.
It's like
10-year anniversary.
yeah, it's like every decade Tiger shows back up. But
Yep.
final thing I have before this series. So DraftKings, BetMGM released the odds for NBA champions. So the Thunder are favored at -175. The Knicks are in second at +450. We're in third at +600, and the Pacers are in fourth at +800. So we're underdogs again.
Good.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Good.
I think we play our best ball when we're out of the spotlight
we do.
and when everyone is doubting us.
Yeah. No, I think if we were the favorites, it would be kind of like going like a President's Trophy curse in hockey or whatever. I don't want to be the number one because then we have then we'll get too cocky. We're confident, you know. It's always a team you don't suspect, and maybe
People
we
start
could be that
pulling
team.
the Ant MJ edits out, which is just it never ends well when we do that.
Yeah, you're just asking to jinx us and it not to go well. So being third is well, what is it? First is the worst, second is the best. Third is the one with the treasure chest.
Yes.
That's what they said growing up. So you know what? The treasure chest is the whatever they call the NBA final trophy. I forget. But fourth is no, fuck them. Indiana, you're done. Sorry.
Final thing on the Wolves. Tune into the streams. I know there will be one at least on Tuesday and Thursday. Not sure about Saturday, but we'll be down in the city doing some man on the street type stuff. So if you go to the game and you want to get interviewed after, find us, give your thoughts, give your analysis. We're going to get into some of the guys we interviewed on Wednesday, but there was one guy who just said the N-word, another guy, and that was an African American guy.
Yep.
I'm going to preface with that.
Yeah. It was. Yep.
Second guy called himself. We're gonna get to it. Stephen A. of the Hood was smoking weed in the interview. It was great stuff.
Rolling
So
a joint.
if you want to be part of the post Timberwolves man on the street stuff, hit us up. But do you guys have anything else on the Wolves?
No.
Go Wolves.
Wolves in 5. It's the name of the episode because
Wolves in
you know
4.
what? Why not 3 times in a row?
Yep.
All right, let's talk about the Vikings schedule release. So the NFL has kind of done this thing the last few years where they do a big build-up for the schedule release, and then there was the release date for the schedule release. The schedule release happened, and just some quick takeaways from the 2025 schedule. We got Week 1 at Chicago on Monday Night Football. We're finally playing Philly at home after playing them on the road for what feels like my entire life.
Yep.
At Seattle against Sam Darnold.
That'll be
That one's
electric.
going to be a fun one. This is one we've already talked about going to. Steelers in Dublin, Ireland. First time an NFL game's been played there, I believe.
Is it? Yeah.
It's gotta be
Week
Yeah,
4,
Dublin.
followed by the Browns in England, Week 5.
trash. Can't believe they're doing that to us.
That one's tough. What else is tough is I get this is after 2 weeks of travel, but a Week 6 bye is very early. It's
Yep.
kind of tough.
Whatever.
That's based on the inevitable jet lag that everyone will be on after spending a week in Europe. We got the Lions on Christmas Day. That should be a treat. So after reading the stats, less than half of our games are going to be noon games. So after you don't like that?
No, I love noon games. I
Yeah.
love noon games. I hate waiting for my team to play for whatever reason.
And again, did you really enjoy showing up here for every game at 10:45 a.m.?
Fuck yeah, dude!
In the
I'm already
middle-
up.
Holy shit, thunderstorm.
thundering.
In the middle of the farmer's market, though, you really enjoyed that part? I'd prefer to wait till afternoon to show up anywhere to watch the game.
It didn't bother me, but now that you kind of mention it, it wasn't like the best. But I like the noon games. But maybe then I can watch Red Zone for once. Now
We
I'm
did.
thinking
We
about
did
it.
always win when we played at noon.
That's where my mind's going.
Every
We're
time
a
we were
great
on
noon
prime
team.
time, and we'd lay an egg or.
We've been winning at noon for like the last 10 years, I swear.
Yeah,
So
that's what my
going back to Bradford.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is nice. We're finally getting a little bit of the primetime spotlight we deserve. That might be because of the hype around JJ McCarthy and their team, being very good outside of the quarterback position and everything like that. So, I don't mind it. I mean, sometimes those noon games too, from a perspective, like if you're out Saturday night or something,
I'm
and you
saying.
wake up and you're like, oh shit, I got to be up for this, and you're just like, you can get there and get to the game, and then you're hyped, but then 3:30 or 4 o'clock rolls around again, and then you're like, oh shit,
You're dead.
you're dead, or you got to drink to stay awake for the rest of the night, and then Monday morning rolls around.
Well, what I hate too about playing at noon is you can't enjoy all the games. Like I also root for the Indianapolis Colts, and last year they both played every week at noon. I hardly watched any Colts football, which I wasn't missing much. But if you're a fantasy football watcher or a bettor, that's when the chaos is happening, is at noon. And when you can put it on Red Zone and just kind of sit back and watch, that's much more enjoyable than having to kind of lock in on one game and missing everything. So I don't hate it.
I don't mind it.
The Europe thing's cool. I mean, I've never been to Europe. I think this would be a good reason to go.
Yeah, I think so too. Get the Dublin, and then you got London right after that.
Yeah,
that's
maybe
insane. They're doing
shoot
2
up
weeks
to
in a row.
Scotland on the way. Maybe
Yeah, man, that's
play
actually,
some golf.
It's actually crazy.
You
that
have
they-
to if you go out there.
Scotland.
I will
Play
be
the
so-
old course.
Yeah,
Have
I'll
a
be pissed if you don't.
have a Guinness. Have a piss warm Guinness.
Oh, dude, yeah, they
they
serve
like
the warm
it.
beer
They
over
like
there.
warm beer there.
Apparently, it makes you shit black too. I've heard that.
I want
Oh,
it.
that's alcohol poisoning.
Oh,
Well, there's
sure?
there's that too.
or Guinness. Yeah, well, maybe we want to get alcohol poisoning. No.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if we lose to the Steelers by 40 in Dublin, yeah, maybe I might just want to get blackout drunk. Why not?
There's no better place to be if you do get killed
Yeah.
to a team and that you shouldn't. So
Yeah.
be it Dublin.
Yeah.
I gotta say too, like this, the schedule release though, I think is just another overhyped event like the draft to me. I'm sorry, but like
The NFL's very good at milking its off-season
yeah.
events. I think it's just because people love football so much that you give them anything and they'll, you dangle anything in front of them and
they'll just
they're
snag
gonna
it. Yeah,
But the schedule release date for the schedule release
I know.
has got. Remember at the NFL draft when they made a big deal? They're like, okay, the official schedule will be released Friday, May 12th or whatever it
start
was.
cheering,
And
It's like,
everyone's
oh,
cheering. It's like, holy fuck, guys! The games are in September.
Games are in September. We're gonna get a release at some point. They're not gonna just not play the season. So no, I agree with that. I don't know. It's just like we know. Yeah, I want to see the schedule and genuinely see when they're gonna play. But like at the same time, people are like just. I don't know. They're
Yeah.
getting too geared up for the date. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's Friday. We get the schedule release. Let's go.
I know.
Okay, well, yeah, they're going to play games. They're going to play 17 games next season.
what?
And we know we know what teams they're going to play.
Missed content opportunity. We should have done a reaction video to the schedule release date.
Mm-hmm.
We should have reacted to them announcing the schedule release date.
The NFL officially releasing their schedule release date. It's going to be Friday, May 12th. Here are my predictions.
Like, yes.
They're going to release the NFL schedule for all 32 NFL teams.
You're like, that Friday's a good day because I get done work early and then I can go to my local bar and wait for the schedule release and, get hyped for it with
Dude,
my friends.
do you think there are people that do mock schedules?
I bet there's people who guess.
You know what? We should start doing that.
Oh man, I'm good on
Jake,
that.
I think you already know the answer to that question. You know it's yes.
You know, there's people that are.
And I do respect the NFL content creators who are like, I got to put out something
I know.
for months.
I know.
But it is also like, okay, let's take a breather. Let's take it from 90% to at least 60.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Find another sport for a couple months.
Dude, the NFL fans are like a cult, really.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's like a huge cult. People are way too invested.
I think we should overreact to the NHL release schedule.
Yeah.
And just
See how many times.
Okay,
82 game season.
Damn it, it's
or
gonna be a bunch of good-
MLB.
It's going to be, you know what? I can already predict it. Next year's Minnesota Wild schedule is going to be hard based on the Central Division. It's going to be a tough one.
Another bold prediction for me. I don't think they're going to have a lot of noon games next year.
No. Maybe Black Friday. That's always
Yeah,
a good
that's
one.
going to have they might
Sarge
have
again.
one or two.
Sit in his mommy and daddy's seats.
Yeah,
that would
hell
be
yeah.
great. We'd love that.
All right. Let's move on to a topic related to schedule releases.
Great transition.
The formerly known as the San Diego Chargers. By the way, they should move back to San Diego. I feel like they have no fans in LA.
San Diego was far better. I like San Diego more than LA personally.
Literally, they've been LA Chargers for 5 years now.
You have two fucking teams.
I'm always gonna say San Diego first because that's how we grew up watching them.
Yeah.
But so they release what actually a lot of teams did, a Minecraft style, or at least a couple other teams. By the way, shout out to my Indianapolis Colts for putting one up and then instantly deleting it because it was Tyreek Hill as a dolphin swimming, and
funny.
The police boat pulled him over, and that's how they announced they were playing the Dolphins week 1, and they had to delete that. Apparently.
Okay.
But so did you guys see the full video, the Chargers schedule release?
I just seen
I
the
saw
clip.
like bits and pieces of it, but they did a great job.
They did. So they play the Vikings at week 8 or something, and they show KOC as a Minecraft figure walking into a house where there's a pirate ship or whatever, and inside is Sam Darnold sitting in front of a banner, which I believe one of them might have said 0 Super Bowl wins, and to the right there's a Minnesota Wild banner. By the way, no other hockey team or even basketball team for that matter, I believe, was mentioned. Maybe no other sporting team was mentioned in this video, but a Minnesota Wild banner shows up, and it says 8 consecutive semifinal
conference
quarterfinal appearances or something.
eliminations. I think.
Eliminations?
Eight consecutive. I look it up. I think it's 8 consecutive quarterfinal eliminations.
Which is true.
Which is true, but
What do they have against the Wild? The admin must be like a Hawks fan, or there's got to be an inside joke there, right?
Yeah.
so exactly. So I'm like, yeah, go along with that. We never won a Super Bowl. Sure, I know the Chargers have never won one, but someone inside the Chargers organization production team was severely scarred or hurt by the Wild.
Might
or-
even be a Wild fan, if we're being honest.
He's just fucking pissed. He's just
Easter
like,
egg in there.
it'd be one thing if we played the Kings too or something, but like what are we doing?
If anything, that should be the Oilers. But
Yeah.
it says 8-time quarterfinal runner-up, 2015 to 2025. And then
So bizarre.
Sam Darnold proceeds to change from a Vikings jersey to a Seattle jersey and walks out, in a typical Minecraft fashion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that got in there, and I'm still just just shocked. I'm utterly disgusted that we caught a stray in the Chargers.
Would you say you're even hurt by this?
No, because I'm hurt by the Wild more than I'm hurt by this. I mean, it is their fault for ultimately, if they could get out of the first round, this wouldn't happen. But I guess I'm in shock about it, to be honest.
It's so random to me. It doesn't make. I feel like out of all the NFL teams' release videos that maybe took strays at other teams are showing, I don't think any. I feel like none of them mentioned other markets' teams.
That's what I'm saying.
This was just.
And the Wild aren't even
What?
like a pop, like if they did about the Leafs or something, like somehow, I guess Toronto doesn't have a football team,
No.
but if they snuck it in there somehow or they caught a stray, I'd get it. But why us?
Or if it was like a Bears release schedule or something.
Yeah.
Which they shouldn't. And the
Something about the
Blackhawks were
North.
doing well.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sarge.
No, don't worry.
Is it?
Don't feel sorry for me.
This just became personal.
Yeah. Now I never had anything against the Chargers. I've always liked the
them
Chargers.
now.
I like the Philip. I like
gotta
Philip
kick their
Rivers.
ass now.
Yeah, fuck them.
We have to beat the Chargers to avenge the Wild.
If we beat the Chargers, we will avenge the Wild to help the Wild win a playoff series next year.
This is so absurd.
It's just
This whole thing is absurd.
I really want to know the backstory
I
on
do
this.
too.
On who has this much animosity towards the Wild to show us the deep agonizing pain of us losing this many times in the quarterfinals, conference quarterfinals. Like it's I don't know.
So, yeah, we're the funny thing is this was the first bit of offseason news that happened. This was the first thing really in the team's offseason. I mean, Yurov got signed, which was big. He's finally over from the KHL. Hopefully he makes the team. And Kirill changed his Instagram profile picture. That's the two things that have happened thus far.
And then this
And
Chargers
then
thing.
This came first. Yeah, we appeared in the Chargers schedule release, and then we signed Yurov, and then at some point Kirill changed his profile picture. So,
You know what? I was kind of like I was still devastated about like watching the second round of the NHL playoffs. I still felt that FOMO of and devastation of losing in the first round again. I kind of got over the grieving process,
especially
with the
after
Wolves
seeing how bad the Knights played against Edmonton,
yeah.
it hurt even more, to be honest.
And now they brought this up, I'm like now re-aggravated and I'm grieving again.
Yeah.
So thank you, Chargers, for bringing up the pain of the Minnesota Wild, the NHL team in Minnesota.
It's like when you get divorced by a really hot girl or a really hot girl breaks up with you, and then some other guy who you've never even met before, you just come across him on Instagram and he posts a picture of her with her.
Yeah.
She looks great.
A guy from LA too.
And
out
he's
of all
like,
people.
her whoever's ex-boyfriend this guy is, or to her is got to be hurting right now. He's a loser. And then you just come across that on a random Friday on your Instagram page, and you're like, wow, I am a loser. I didn't expect him to tell me,
Yeah.
but he did.
Yeah.
Now I'm even reaffirmated that I am a fucking loser.
Yeah.
So this is, once again, just an all-time ricochet shot by the Los Angeles Chargers that I don't think anyone saw coming.
No. This
mean,
was
it's-
left field.
This
at
is
its
an
finest.
inside job.
It's quite the discourse.
There's got to be someone from Minnesota on that staff.
But you know what? How you can make yourself feel a little better about the Chargers insulting us is to drink Captain's Patch, which you know
You're on
what?
fire today, dude.
You know what? Shout out to the guys who are at the Twins game tonight, actually, who have been tagging us in pictures of them drinking Captain's Patch. Captain's Patch is our raspberry lemon shandy brewed by Elm Creek Brewing, available at Target Field by Gate 34 on the tap wall, also available in cans at Target Field in left field. You can also get it at the XL Energy Center. We're going to get into it here in a little bit, but the Frost are back to their second straight PWHL championship. You can drink Captain's Patch. Hey, maybe you know what? We'll try to meet up after they win. Try to drink a Captain's Patch out of the Walter Cup. Maybe we'll give the ladies a bit of raspberry shandy to drink out of it when they win. So
That'd be dope.
Captain's Patch. Go to captainspatch.com. You can get it at pretty much any Total Wine. Plug in your zip code. captainspatch.com. 21 plus. Please drink responsibly. Great transition. The Minnesota Frost made it to their second straight PWHL championship. So shout out to
Hell
them.
yeah.
They
boys.
they won 4 straight games against Toronto to win 4-3. It was actually in overtime by who else? Taylor Heisey scored the game-winning goal, which is pretty cool. This is the only gripe I have about the PWHL, though. It's a first to 4 series, and games, or sorry,
First best of 5.
best of 5. Sorry.
Yeah.
So right now they only have 3 games scheduled. So the 20th, the 22nd are in Ottawa, and then the 24th is home. So then I would assume if we make it to game 4, that would also be at home, right? They would not go back, or would they go back to Ottawa? No, that would have to stay home, and then game
I
5
think it
would
would
be
be
in Ottawa.
here. Yep, it would be here.
So I guess, and I didn't realize the Frost were the 4th seed. So kind of a playoff merchant, not the best in regular season, but just getting it done in the playoffs when it matters.
I think that's what happened last year too. I think they
Did.
just barely made it in. Just
Yeah.
like this year, I think they got in through tiebreakers. So,
Yep.
and they're just going off. They win. I know there's only they only have to play one series to get to the championship, but like it's still impressive that they grind their way in the regular season, pop in, and just start going off.
They seem to be unaffected by the curse that is this godforsaken state.
Yeah, because they're every Minnesota team that gets to that stage of the round, like where the Wolves are now, conference final. They're in the women's teams make it there and they actually execute. So, So and like Taylor Heisey's been going off. I think I saw she was leading like all players in the playoffs and points, and she was a season leader on that, Minnesota native, all that. So shout out to her. And
Red Wing, U of M, like just the perfect career path to being just a winner in Minnesota, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, we can rely on them, at least one Minnesota team here, to win something.
That one's a
in
lock.
Minnesota. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and say that's a lock.
Yeah.
You know what? I also enjoyed their little victory tour last year. You know, they brought the Walter Cup all over the place. They drank out of it, which is awesome. You know, whether it's men's sports or women's sports, everyone's just trying to get after it, drinking out of a trophy. Just drinking.
I want to. That's a
drinking
bucket
out of
list
an
item of mine.
unsanitary way of consumption, but you
Yeah.
know what? You won, so who cares?
Yeah.
And like I said, you know what? I might try to go to that home game on the 24th. I'm going to drink Captain's Patch there at section 115. So
Why not? It's an opportunity. That's what time is that game at?
it was at 4 p.m. on Saturday.
Okay, before the
Excel
Wolves
Energy
play at
Center.
7:30.
Yep.
Okay.
Make sure to avoid the sinkhole down there, St. Paul. While if you're going to be making the trek to the Frost game at the Excel Energy Center, potentially being renamed to the Island, filled with Island boys, make sure to look out for the St. Paul sinkhole.
Yeah,
Transition or
it might be.
It could be. I think it is a transition.
I think it's a transition.
Transitions. Yeah, I did
Yeah.
visit the sinkhole. I kept my promise. I said I was going to go down there and do some reporting. By the way, I'm starting to realize now this is kind of a look behind the curtain in the world of 10K, but in the summertime, we really struggle for content. You know, like we kind of do odds and ends type things, you know, off-season news, whatever. We should just start like showing up to places with legitimate news stories and just giving our takes on them.
Well, we used to do like the
Studio
studio updates, but I remember we did one outside of our studio in Prior Lake because there was something happening out there, or like there was construction, and like I think I was doing it like, hey, journalist Jake here, we cannot get out of the parking lot or something weird,
Yeah.
and then it just ended.
Yep.
And almost
we
just
should-
did quick news updates.
We should. That's going to be our summer stuff. We should just hit. I mean, obviously, we'll stay away from the shootings, that kind of news. But
or we
you know, like
could
some-
get into it.
we just kind of like Jake Gyllenhaal that shit. Show up right after someone gets murdered and
Nightcrawler
Nightcrawler. Just maybe do some of that
Or
kind
like
of stuff.
what was the guy from WCCO, Mike Max, or he was getting during the riots. He was
That
just
was
getting into it.
Just
on
a
the
sports
front
guy.
lines.
Just running through rubber bullets and mace, and
Dude, he was on the front lines. That's what we needed to do.
he was like hiding in a garage. Remember?
yeah, with some. Oh man, that was nuts.
I think it's been long enough. We can tell people we went to the riots.
Yeah, we did.
no shit? You guys
Yep,
did?
we
Yeah,
did.
we
We had to check it out.
we had to check out the
We didn't
riots.
feel like it was appropriate to film any content, but we did watch everyone light a car on fire.
Yeah, and then there were people putting mortars, like launching off mortars, but the tubes kept falling over, so
Yep.
it was like a war zone out there. Like
Yep.
we were like one flew right by me. So yeah, people were lighting that
We
car on
felt
fire.
we felt a little bit of the tear gas, which was
It's brutal. I've been tear
tough.
gassed. It's awful.
yeah.
We saw some
really
people
works.
dragging an ATM
Yep.
on the back of their car. That
Oh
they
yeah,
clearly
straight out of like
had-
Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, they were just driving it down the road. They flew right by us with an ATM. Like, well, okay, we're in the thick of it now.
Yep.
It was.
Keep in mind,
crazy.
this was 2020. It was a very boring time.
Yeah, dude, we had nothing else to do.
We just
Like,
had to
let's go check out the
it out.
riots.
Yeah, we're like, let's go to the riots.
Let's check it out.
Crazy.
It
how
was
much
insane. We
time has
watched one of the
passed.
precincts just get absolutely destroyed.
Yep.
And that made the news the next day. And I was telling my parents, yeah, we were down there.
Yeah.
They were proud,
What?
weren't they?
They were not happy that I was in a spot
We didn't
where I
destroy
could-
anything. We didn't steal anything.
because it was actually very dangerous. We probably shouldn't have been down there.
100% shouldn't have been down there.
There was just we could have got hit by a vehicle, a mortar, blown up in a fire.
yeah.
I don't know. There a lot of things.
Remember
could have
people were
happened.
kicking around just this big exercise ball?
Yeah, people were.
It was probably, I think it was stolen from Target.
It was like insane. We went down there. There was like a little area of people actually protesting, like, for George Floyd or whatever. Everywhere around it was just people chucking shit,
Looting.
looting,
Yeah.
blowing shit up. like it was nuts.
The only funny thing to come out of that entire experience was that one viral video that was like viral nationwide of people looting the Lake Street Target, and some dude is running out with a mannequin. Like the person filming was like, he took a mannequin. Like he was saying it wrong. It's like he took a mannequin, dude. Why are you taking a mannequin?
That's just funny because you could take anything in that store at that point. You just take the mannequin.
Yeah, so the sinkhole being filled. Not as deep as it looked on Saturday. I was a little disappointed when I showed up there on Tuesday. Really surprised to not see a crew working on it at all. There was just no one there. I was thinking about going inside of the fence, but I'm like, that's not a good idea. So I took a selfie video from outside of the fence. But the traffic is there wasn't a lot of cars. It was like a Tuesday afternoon. Just some wild stuff, though, that thing was 35 feet deep. I guess I don't even know. They said it was going to take all summer to fix. It does not seem like it's going to take that long based on what I saw in just 2 days.
What are they filling it in with?
No idea.
Okay. Do you just put cement in there? Do you just put a bunch of fucking
Flex
dirt?
Seal.
Yeah.
They're just gonna flex seal it.
Put a bunch
Hi,
of
Billy Mays here.
Buy 8 gallons of Flex Seal and some Gorilla Tape.
Yeah, let's just try it. Let's experience. Yeah, Gorilla Tape and Flex Seal and some super glue, Gorilla Glue while you're at it.
But it is like right out. Like I feel bad for Burger Mo's. It is like right out front of Burger Mo's, where they do sell Captain's Patch on tap, I believe, still. But
Probably not. Probably kind of
I
an
don't know.
ugly sight down
I'll go
there.
back in a month, check it out, maybe give another sinkhole update. But it was not as interesting as I thought, which is probably for the best because that means that they're filling it. But like I said, was really shocked that they were doing work on Shepherd Road instead, which is a road I have to take to get to my full-time job office. And it takes about 30 minutes to get through that stretch sometimes. So really upset to see they were working on Shepherd Road and not the sinkhole.
Just fix the sinkhole, man. It's just like
Seems like it would take priority, right?
you'd think so, but they probably are just labeling it another pothole, which cities don't seem to prioritize. So like, it's just a big pothole.
Big pothole.
Well, still should be fixed, right? No. Let's do this little shitty construction job over here that's going to take another 5 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a sinkhole update. Let's talk about Scotty. I mean, Scotty Scheffler wins the PGA Championship. I knew it. I was saying, in the preview I did with Sammy Stats on Wednesday on 10K TV, I said after I saw his performance at the Byron Nelson, where he shot 31 under, that he was probably a lock for this tournament. And, when you saw his name on Saturday, it was like, yep, that's it. After he finished round 3 at the top, that was it. I mean, just put on a dominant performance, won by 5. Could have been more. He was slow on the front 9, had a couple bogeys, not a lot of birdies. I love when Amanda Brenner interviewed him. He just said, well, I just kept hitting it left. That's what was happening. Which is
so we're going to get out of you, Scotty?
Relatable.
Yeah. Just keep hitting it left, snapped hooked it, whatever. Yeah, it's relatable to us recreational golfers. I can attest to that.
Yeah.
I'm super happy for him, but I always love such close championship Sundays between when it's down to like 2 or 3 guys.
We want drama.
You do want the drama there, but it's like it seemed like it was going to be a little close Friday and a Saturday, and I know things change, people move around, but everyone just seemed to fall the fuck off in the tournament. Like Jonathan Vegas was up by like 5 strokes at one point on Friday or whatever.
Our 3M Open champion, defending champion.
Defending champ.
Got to pull for that guy.
John Houghton in Vegas. That's how it looks like it's pronounced. But
Yep.
then you had some random dudes that were leading. That
Luke Donald was leading after day 1.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was still playing in non-senior tournaments.
Exactly.
He's the European
Ryder Cup
captain.
captain. I see his face now and I get PTSD from Rome.
Yeah. But was he the captain then
Captain.
too? Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
He's the
to bring him
captain this
back.
year, too.
Yeah, that would make sense. They bring him back. I saw the clip. There was a couple funny things that happened. I saw Scheffler dropped the lid, which isn't as uncommon as I think Morikawa
Colin
did it too.
did it, yeah.
But it's still kind of funny because he throws him off. I saw DeChambeau was like punching himself walking up to his like final interview with like Sky Sports or whatever, like probably a metaphor to like I got beat the fuck up today on the course.
And then
He was
in his post-round interview with Amanda Brenner on CBS, he talks about like how the equipment he was using wasn't good enough, and he's like, I'm gonna order some stuff.
Yeah, you're talking about the golf balls. and you
He's
can't
like, I hit the
control
golf ball too high. I gotta hit a ball that goes lower.
I got to get a lighter golf ball, you know. Got to get a different kind of golf ball.
Is he still using 3D printed clubs? Remember when that was?
It
that
wouldn't
was
shock me.
I wouldn't be surprised, but he can't be, right? But if there's a guy that's doing it, it's Bryson DeChambeau, or a Live Tour guy.
He was talking about how like she was like, "Is there enough time before the U.S. Open?" And he's like, "Well, that's all on the manufacturers." Like he was being really vague about how he's gonna go back to the lab and produce some weird, fucked up type of new golf club that no one else is using, and it'll probably backfire, maybe.
He's like trying to be like the Iron Man of golf, like, but with clubs. I don't
Yeah.
know. He's trying to do these weird
Tony
experimentation.
Stark.
He's like
Tony Stark stuff.
He's trying to be, this is some Tony Stark shit that Bryson DeChambeau is doing with golf clubs, and he's going to eventually isn't he going to create something that's probably not legal?
Well,
PGA, or does he get him checked? He has to get him checked.
Yeah, you do have to get him approved. I loved a No Laying Up podcast posted a picture of it, and it said Bryson's new equipment improvement for the U.S. Open. It's a picture of a guy on a tee box holding a potato gun.
Oh. Well, have you seen those videos of those people that use just like the golf clubs that you just click a button and it just launches it for you? He's gonna try to find a way to do that and make it legal. Like the self-launching golf clubs.
I still love the video someone resurfaces every major of him at the range back when he was on the tour, where he's like locked up and he hits it so hard and he like roars after and he grabs another ball, and someone always resurfaces that video and they're like, Bryson warming up today for the PGA.
Active.
Some other noticeable or notable events that were pretty funny. Just Scotty carrying his kid around, setting him on the ground when he was doing his scorecard, and then giving him his scorecard holder to play with. Little Bennett just running around on the 18th green. How about the chairman of the PGA of America calling the Charlotte fans the best fans in sports?
Yeah,
Felt a little unnecessary.
just not true.
Don't say that.
Yeah, it's not true.
Especially at a golf event. Like maybe one thing if like the Carolina Panthers made it far, won a Super Bowl, and in the NFL, Roger Goodell is at their parade. Like, you guys are the greatest fans because they just want to. You're at a golf event with players from all over the world.
Yeah,
it's just hosted at a very nice course near there. That's just stupid.
Also, the PGA Tour put out a graphic. I think it was on Friday, or maybe it was Saturday, it was obviously Sunday after Scotty won, and it said that Scotty has won more tournaments in the past 2 years than the Panthers have games.
Oh my God!
And in the Bryce Young era, that one got deleted. So I'm guessing Tepper, the owner of the Panthers, maybe reached out to the PGA Tour about that one. We had Wyndham Clark throwing his driver through the T-Mobile sign.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Which is ironic considering T-Mobile is like his biggest sponsor.
Yeah. Hey, he's very passionate.
You have to look up the video. He hits a bad tee shot, and then he turns around and like in his like backswing almost like throws the driver. It went through the sign. The head and the shaft split, and then apparently you can see there's a guy who holds the flag who like jumped because he was so terrified by it. I mean, it put a hole in this big sign.
Oh man, I gotta find that.
Yep. So that happened, and then John Rahm hit one off a guy's head.
Oh, okay.
Directly onto the green.
Okay.
It's a big dude's head.
Is the guy fine?
The guy's fine.
Okay.
He was a really ripped guy. Looked like a lineman. Speaking of
Took
the
it
Panthers,
like a fucking champ.
it went right off his dome, right onto the green. And then in a similar fashion, we also had Johnny Vegas hit one off the rake.
Okay, I was just about to say that.
So some weird bounces on the golf course.
I saw that one. I forgot who it was, but that was very bizarre. I couldn't believe what I was seeing there. It's like, you know what?
Yep.
I think I'm gonna try to aim for rakes on golf courses. Or
Yeah, you know, it's not
bunkers,
a bad play.
and then try to get a lucky bounce instead of trees. I don't get lucky bounces off trees as much as I want anymore. So maybe a rake might be the next big thing on the course.
Yeah. Or maybe just try to hit one close to a rock like Justin Thomas last week.
Yeah, and just dude, some of these guys get some ridiculous bounces. It's insane, but
Yeah.
we need to take a note out of their strategy or from the strategy.
I'm back in the camp of Scotty's going to win every tournament the rest of the year the way he's
Yeah.
playing. I didn't realize that. I don't know why it wasn't talked about more until this week, but he apparently early in the year had to surgically have glass removed to his hand. Around Christmas time, he broke a wine glass or something, and a ton of it went into his hand, and then he had to have it surgically removed. So his whole practice regime and his ramp-up regime, or not regime, like
Regimen. Yeah.
was impacted by his hand.
Yeah.
So apparently this was like the first week he felt truly back in form. And if you're a guy like Rory or, even Xander or Sepp Straka, who is playing really good golf and wants to win a major this year, forget about it.
Good fucking
It's
luck.
not happening.
Early in the year, it looked like this might be an off year for Scotty and someone else can swoop in, but no.
Yeah.
Clearly, Scotty Scheffler regained his grip to the shaft.
Yep.
So and he got his stroke down again.
He's back.
He's stroking it good now.
Stroking it good now.
Scotty Scheffler.
Let's move on and talk about the Twins.
Fuck yeah.
Twins, 13-2 in May so far. I think we knew this was going to happen. When they had such a bad April that they were going to come back in one of these other months and be the best team in baseball. 13-game winning streak unfortunately ended yesterday, one day before Bark at the Park. But we are recording right now during the Bark at the Park game, and it's delayed.
It's delayed.
They are up 2-1 right now, though.
Before the delay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's bottom of the second, 2 outs. You got a guy on second, but I don't know. Judging by what I see outside right now, it's not looking good.
Yeah.
So here's the question: if Bark at the Park didn't get rescheduled, does the whole stadium just smell like wet dog? Because that'd be
Probably.
a tough way to kick off the week if you're paying for Twins tickets.
This is not a good look in the in this in the Twins vibe to try to keep winning or whatever's happening with this Twins team. Like the winning streak had to end yesterday, right
Yep.
before Bark at the Park, which ignited a winning streak last year, and now we have to be cursed now because now the Bark at the Park
That's what I'm saying.
is now going to potentially be rained out. But I did say yesterday after the Twins' 13-game winning streak ended, like, you know what that means? It's over. It's done. Season's done now. Again.
Yep.
No, I'm just joking.
No,
But,
they got hot. Did the Twins get hot too early?
you got hot too early. They're done.
I would think so, yeah. They needed that so fucking bad.
Yeah.
I've seen too that they're third in the league in ERA,
Yeah, their pitching has been kick ass.
which is just it's never a normal feeling like being confident when a Twins pitcher is throwing the ball.
Yeah, and then complimenting that, they're absolutely smashing the ball too. Everyone's hitting. Christian Vasquez is getting involved in that whole
which
thing
is
too.
great.
He's hitting too.
Yeah.
So everyone's hitting well. The pitching is surprisingly doing good. So other than the fact that Detroit keeps winning,
Yeah.
they keep winning. So we're still like 5.5 games back in this whole.
5 games on the nuts.
Yeah.
There was a tough incident between Carlos Correa and Buxton, causing them each to be under concussion protocol with 7-day injured list. I don't know if you guys saw that play last week. The two worst people for it to happen to.
Yeah.
Two of the most injury prone.
It's
And their
not
best
right.
players.
Yeah. They've actually been playing well.
That makes 4 key players though currently on IL.
Hell yeah.
Which means they've just kind of earned their Minnesota Wild stripes. They've chosen their hard, according to Minnesota Wild team. Yeah, that's not good. I didn't also realize how good of a year Buxton's had so far. He leads the squad in steals, WAR, which is wins above replacement. It's always funny when you see a crazy acronym on paper. Like I was reading The Athletic today, and I see that Buxton leads the team in WAR in all caps. It's really aggressive.
Yeah.
Just think of why I started hearing Vietnam helicopters. Mm-hmm. But then he also leads the team in RBIs and runs scored. So if you're talking about anyone getting the bat hot, it's him. But also Royce Lewis, too, hitting a couple dingers in Milwaukee, at least getting one of them robbed, but hit a dinger. Was that yesterday, Sarge? 2 days ago?
I think it was 2 days ago.
It's good to see him back in the mix.
Yep. Because he was when he came off his injury, and it's kind of normal. You're trying to get back in the swing of things. I think people were being too harsh on him, but it's good to see him finally getting back and hitting well because we need that. Having Correa out and Buxton out Lewis hitting well, I think we can stay afloat just fine. But yeah, it sucks having him out. But it is funny to me now we have our two players, Buxton and Correa. Correa especially was playing well and helping this winning streak. And two of the more injury-prone guys are just out.
But since Buxton is out, one of our studs from the Saints, Carson McCusker.
I was going to bring this guy up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Husker.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say this guy was batting .350, had 10 homers in 38 games for the Saints right across the parking lot from us here in St. Paul. So he did get called up. He's in the lineup.
He's in the lineup today.
Good.
He did. It looks like he struck out. But this guy is 6'8", 250. He's fucking Aaron Judge.
He's got the last name of a Civil War general
Yeah, McCuster.
for the South.
Colonel McCuster. We should call him Colonel McCuster.
Yeah,
Put it on a T-shirt.
yeah. What a stud, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just been waiting for his opportunity. You know, it does suck when key players go down, but what we have learned with the Wild is if you have any young talent that could use some reps and experience, like this is the time for him to do it. And, you know, to prove to them that they can handle, you know, the big teams. So keep winning. I'm not sure we're gonna have to get some inside info on Bark at the Park. I'm probably gonna respond to some of those guys who tagged us drinking Captain's Patch. By the way, if you are at the Twins game and you're drinking the patch, make sure to tag us in it.
Yeah,
On
please
Instagram.
do.
We'll reshare it, let people know that it's there.
Yeah, like we did with the Wild. I know a lot of people were doing that at the Wild games.
It's fun. It's good for us. It shows that the marketing we're doing and the work we're putting in is actually translating. So
Yeah, it's good to post it word of mouth too. Tell others to
Yep.
drink it when you're there. It'll be a good time.
And you know what you should also do? You should also tell your friends about our merch if you're buying our merch.
Sarge.
Sarge is.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
He's got about 8 things going
Yeah.
on. so
We just got a voicemail.
I got some empathy for you there.
Yeah.
So yeah, folks, we have a full line of products on our website, 10ktakesmn.com. Anything from sweatshirts to t-shirts to crew necks to hats. We've got coffee mugs, pillows, all sorts of fun Minnesota sports related stuff. So once again, go to 10ktakesmn.com, view the whole collection, and tell your friends if there's a shirt you like or buy it as a gift for someone else. 10ktakesmn.com. There's even a Bogies with Boss Man shirt on there now. So shout out. Also, really quick shout out to the Guerin family. I don't know if we mentioned that last week. Bill and Kara bought like 15 of the Billy G shirts. Mm-hmm. So
The new one's on there, yeah.
I'm sure there'll be a photo being posted on the 10K socials of the Guerin family rocking that shirt. But let's talk about let's go back to the Timberwolves here. So the Timberwolves fans, they're diehard all year. There's the crazy moments and the highlights, but there's something about this playoff run they're just on a new level. Something's in the water right now. I don't know if it's this playoff team does feel better than like last year's. It feels more balanced. It feels like everyone's a little more mature.
Yep.
So maybe there's more confidence.
Yeah, I definitely feel more confidence in this team, but like we don't experience Minnesota fans in general, especially the Timberwolves, right? The team that would win 10 games a year, that would be paying you to go to games practically a decade ago. Like we don't experience success like this often. So let alone 2 years in a row like this.
Yeah.
So I feel like some of us fans, we don't know how to handle it. We just half of our state's population just might die of like unnatural causes if we make it to the finals.
Yeah.
And we win this series. Like we don't know what to do. Like, and so yeah, we'll talk about it. We've had some fans doing some crazy shit and it's I love it. It's hilarious.
So yeah, we'll start with the guy who did cocaine on the Jumbotron.
Flat out. I don't think that's the first person. I think there was another video that leaked that wasn't on the Jumbotron, but I saw it on Twitter or something of some chick doing cocaine.
Yep.
Or snorting something at a playoff game as well. So
Just hitting the slopes.
just hitting the slopes and trying to get hyped up during the game.
We had an unexpected cameo from the Rolling Rocket. Just
Yes!
came out of his offseason hibernation, whatever he does when the Vikings are done. But I think he jumped off his deck
Yeah.
onto a table full of empty Rolling Rocks.
I love it. I think we need more Rolling Rock outside of Viking season, and this proves it. You know, he should be doing this now for every win going forward.
Every Twins win, 13 days in a
Oh,
row of
man.
jumping off a table or a high surface onto a table of empty Rolling Rock cans.
Could you imagine if he committed to that, or if when we had him on in the fall, like, hey, you know what, you should start doing this for every Twins win.
Yeah.
And maybe he wouldn't have been very, very confident in the Twins winning at the time, but it's like, dude, 13 days in a row, every Wolves win. He should do it for every Minnesota team win. Wild Wolves.
It's kind of like one of those things when you see the Vikings throw their first touchdown of the season that you're like, God, I miss that feeling. I miss watching that. That's how I felt when I saw the Rolling Rocket jump off his deck wearing an Ant jersey. It's just really special stuff. It's just good to see him back kind of in the mix and bringing some good juju from the Vikings to the Wolves.
Yeah, that's the off-season football stuff I want to see. I don't want to see.
Yeah.
I don't care the draft, the schedule release, the off-season. The little bit of off-season hype that I want is the Rolling Rocket jumping off a balcony for the Wolves. But you do get that little bit of nostalgia, or a little bit of a I don't know. You get a little excited for the football season coming up because you did get that when we saw those videos whenever the Vikings won, right?
Very frequently. So it's got positive emotion attached to it.
Exactly. You get that positive stimulation from it, I should say.
So we had fans who actually waited outside of the Target Center to chirp Draymond. Draymond actually pushed one of them. I don't know if you saw that video.
Oh, shit.
I saw the one of them chirping Jimmy.
So those same guys then walked over to where they were loading up
Oh.
the bus, and yeah, they were chirping Jimmy.
And Draymond? Okay.
Yep, basically just saying we don't need you, which was very fitting. People say that's loser behavior. I don't think so. I think then don't lose the game.
Yeah.
That's losing the game is loser behavior.
You can describe that in other ways, like maybe extreme or crazy for these fans, but don't say loser behavior. We won the game. Our fans are hyped up, especially Jimmy Butler. Some people still have animosity towards him, even though I think it's been 5 years and fans still have that much animosity towards him that they're going to sit outside for a good amount of time after a game to chirp him. I think that's, you got to respect it a little bit, but yeah, that's not loser mentality. We just fucking kicked your ass. So calm down and go back to your safe space in San Francisco.
Yep, and Francisco because he owns them now.
Yeah, and Francisco. And then he owns, and it's also Ant Angeles.
Yep.
So he's just dominating California.
The state of California stood no chance against Ant. Bring on the Kings for all. Bring on the Clippers. He'll take them down. We also kind of, looking in-house here, we had Sarge burn his Jimmy Butler jersey.
Well worth it. Well worth it.
Was that the jersey you've been wearing, though, lately?
Yes, but my
Okay.
new one just came in the mail like yesterday, so
Oh.
I'm fucking ready.
For who? What player?
Ant.
Okay,
I
good.
had
So you're
to.
moving on.
Did you allegedly get it from China?
Yes.
Okay.
I absolutely did.
Was everything spelled right? Were the letters? Does it look good?
Dude, honestly, I actually didn't even look. I just saw the front. I'm like, this is fucking sick.
Okay.
And that's all
I
that
did the
matters,
white
maybe.
one with like the kind of old school white one.
Those ones are sweet.
They're
we saw
really
a lot of
cool.
guys were rocking those in the streets. Which, speaking of that, we our video where Jake and I were doing some man on the street after game 5. We had Stephen A. of the Hood.
Yep.
I'm not sure how you
He was my favorite by far.
just rolling up a Blackwood, just in the middle of it, just rolling a joint.
Saying championship or parade.
Or a blunt. Was that a blunt, Sarge? You're
That's a
weed
blunt.
expert,
It was
okay?
definitely a
Just rolling
blunt.
up a blunt. That just made me sound so white.
Yeah, it was funny too because we went up to that group of people like, did any of you want to be interviewed? Do we want all of you want to be interviewed? They're like, no, him, Stephen A. of the Hood.
Yeah.
I'm like, they call you Stephen A. of the Hood. He's like, yeah, or Slicky Slims or
Yeah.
something, whatever he said.
And then there's another guy just behind you guys while we're doing the interview, like dribbling a mini ball.
Yeah,
Just
It was-
and he kept like kind of throwing it your way, and it was just a whole thing.
there was some. Yeah, it was fun.
The first N-word posted on the 10K channels by the first African American man that you interviewed. He said, "quote unquote, me and all my N-words hate Jimmy Butler."
Fuck Jimmy Butler. Yeah,
We're like, you know what? We're starting off the video with that guy.
yeah.
So, real historic stuff from this video.
It was a lot of funny stuff, and then we had the guy Todd. He just put
Oh,
his
yes.
first name on the back of his jersey. I'm like, okay, and then you had that cracked out lady behind him. Who the hell's Todd?
Smoking darts.
Yeah, who the hell? Well, maybe she
Tried to
wasn't
interview
cracked
her.
out.
She just like stared at us. We're like, okay.
Okay, it's like, okay, yeah, you're not, don't know where you are right now. That's fine.
You see some real interesting stuff on the in the streets of Minneapolis after a Wolves win. I mean, it's all good vibes, but
You do, and I'm one of the first guys we interviewed. Very nice dude, but that guy was like twice my height.
I thought that was funny.
That guy, I'm like, that's the guy we got to interview, and he was a super nice guy.
Yeah, we got to throw in the game.
Very cordial. I was thinking back to it. I almost should have said, like, dude, you should have just went up against. You think you could have went up against Draymond Green? Do you
Yeah.
think you could have took this guy on? This guy was a big dude.
I mean, the way Draymond was shooting threes in the last few minutes, yeah, I bet he could have taken them.
I think he could have shot better too.
We also just had the Timberwolves admin just had a lot of good stuff ready to go. They had Wolves in, and then it was Ant's number 5, so that was a good one. They did kind of like an intro to Full House, more
Oh,
like
yeah, I
Timberwolves
like that
edition.
one.
That was very well put together.
Yep.
And then they had Ant sitting next to Curry at the Olympics doing the sleepy pose, which that one was a little tough just considering Steph didn't play. I wasn't fully on board with using that as a chirp just because we didn't truly beat Steph Curry, but I still respect it.
Yeah. No, they're trying to as we make a deeper run, they're trying to be more edgy, and I love it. I love when these all these teams' social media accounts get a little less unprofessional and just
Yep.
try to be more viral.
Be more
and
like
do
the
stuff
Chargers,
that.
everybody.
Chirp a little bit too. They are kind of chirping being a little chirpy with the other teams and being creative with the Full House stuff. I'm curious I'm going to be excited what they're going to. I'm excited for what is in store for this series or what they're going to be doing. I know they probably already posted some stuff, but. Yeah, be edgy, and you gotta be on the same page of our fans, like
Yeah.
of the cocaine snorting and
Right.
and Jimmy Butler hating fans that are just very. You gotta find a way to reach those people and find the common people, which is I think what we try to do. You know, you don't want to be super professional. You know, you want to try to just be one with the fans.
Yeah.
Be one with the fans.
I'm making myself a note to make a meme where the guy who's doing cocaine says me, and then him snorting, it just says Anthony Edwards basketball.
Yep.
Timberwolves basketball.
Give me more of it. I will pay for this. I will snort this into my brain.
I'm addicted to this.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to this.
It's just beyond smelling salt.
It gets me really excited to the point where I feel like I'm high.
Yeah, I don't want to do coke. I want to snort Anthony Edwards. Just inject it into my veins.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we should. Well, this is probably bad, but you get a video or a picture of a guy
Doing heroin?
injecting heroin into his veins, even though this drug kills people every year. But they do it whatever. But yeah, you just put Anthony Edwards into my veins.
Needle is like the Western Conference Finals.
Exactly.
All right, let's move on to one of our final topics here. We have. I'm gonna let you guys take this one since
Jake.
you're more of music knowers than me. So yeah, you go for it.
Well, yeah, so the All-American Rejects, if you don't know who that is based on the band name, well, you've definitely heard their fucking music. Just look them up on Spotify, like Gives You Hell, Dirty Little Secret, Move Along. Swing, swing from the tablecloth. Whoa, ooh. Dude, they just had and they announced it kind of last week, so I was kind of in the know, but you don't know where they're going. They're starting a little pop-up show tour across the Midwest, starting in Green Bay, and what that means is they're going to a city, not on a tour, not on a scheduled tour. They're not playing any big arenas or sanctioned music venues. They're just showing up, popping up, and they've been playing like houses at like and in this case they popped up in Minneapolis, and they were supposed to play a house, but they got rained out, so they moved to Memory Lanes, which is an old ass historic bowling alley in like South Minneapolis, and I just love when they're a platinum selling iconic band from the early 2000s that still make good music, and they're playing this small ass punk rock show like there's some underground band. And I guess there were the line was extremely long. It was like probably like around the block,
I can imagine.
crazy. And they ended up adding like another show time later later on Friday. And I knew people that tried to go on Friday, and they got into the second show. They were there like an hour before the first show, didn't get in. They got in for the second show, but not until the last 3 songs of the second show, which was damn near midnight. Damn. So it was like people were still showing up trying to get in after, because people were just figuring it out. Like, you had to know this through word of mouth or have signed up through like through like one of their secret links on their social media. But like, people definitely heard about it through word of mouth, and it was like spreading, and because we saw it on all of these people's stories, like they're just in there playing Gives You Hell and like My Dirty Little Secret, like an iconic fucking rock band just playing this small ass, like the stage was set up on the bowling lanes.
Straight out of like, what the fuck is up, Denny's?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I think of. What's up? What the fuck? They should have played it at Denny's, by the way.
Dude,
That'd have been
missed
huge.
opportunity.
Just do it. Just do a encore at Denny's,
Dude.
down the road.
There's that Denny. There's a Denny's in like Bloomington area. That would have been fucking awesome. We should have, if I would have known, because I know that they were like, their DMs were open to be like, hey, send us if you got a house or somewhere we can play out. That's how they've been getting it, is from fans texting them, hey, come to this house and set up here. Like they went down to Ames, Iowa, and set up on some random ass farm the next day.
Love that.
So
And
cool.
people showed up, and they played in this barn, and then I guess yesterday they played at some random house in Ohio or something at a college, and it was like graduation weekend or whatever, so people were freaking out. Like I just walked by and I see All American Rejects playing at a house. Like,
That would just be an all-time like, what's going on kind of moment.
Yeah.
well, I think I saw a video. I don't think it was staged. They were in Green Bay the day before they were playing their first pop-up show in Green Bay. This was like Thursday, the day before they came to Minneapolis. And they just said, we're going to be going into this class building, this building here. Kids, I think, are taking finals, but we're going to go make them aware that there's a party, we're playing our show tonight at blah, blah, blah. They walk into this room where kids are like taking a test. Hey, guys, just want to let you know, the lead singer just walks in. Hey, guys, just let you know, we're playing a show in 8 hours at blah, blah, blah. You got to come out. And the teacher's like, what are you guys doing? This is completely disrespectful. These kids are taking finals. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah.
And then he's like walking out. There's more to life than just finals, bro. Like, so I don't think it was staged. But I've seen other bands do this, like big bands do this. It doesn't happen very often, but like I really wish I could have made it there. But it's just awesome to see like a platinum selling band do this shit, just playing these underground shows.
So
and just,
sick.
and you know it's great for them. You know they love it too. Just
Oh,
get
yeah.
away from the big stadiums and lights and all the fame and stuff. And like this, yeah, like they have like several fucking hits. Like this isn't just like some mediocre band that can do a tour like this. Like it's super cool.
Yeah.
I love to see it.
Yeah.
and all for free too.
All for free. They
Yeah.
sell some T-shirts that said, I forgot what the T-shirt said, but like I got fucked up at an All American Rejects pop-up show.
Yeah.
I think that's what the T-shirts they were selling had. And they're only like $5 or something.
It probably brings them back to their pre-fame days, which are
Great
I would
point.
imagine
For sure.
are probably some of their most cherished memories.
for sure.
I mean, I guess playing your first stadium has got to be awesome, but they probably think back to the days where they were just in basements and bars and stuff like that, and that's got to be pretty sweet.
And I think this is great PR for them because this news is
man.
spreading all over the country.
I didn't think,
like,
I'm sorry, I didn't think we'd be bringing up All American Rejects on this show like ever.
no, I mean,
chance.
there's bands coming through here all the time for these big venues, but to do a pop-up concert, yeah, this is what we're talking
As
about.
a band that big,
Yeah.
dude, Taylor Swift should do pop-up concerts.
Dude, I don't think she ever would. I'm going to be like, is she doing pop-up shows for
That
the
would be-
fans?
that
No,
would-
she's not.
that would be a liability.
She's no All-American Rejects.
No, she's not.
No. No, yeah, more artists should definitely do this. Like I said, other artists I've seen do this, but like more artists, like big-time artists
Yeah.
need to do this shit.
Yeah.
'Cause you get in and see it. It's just kind of a bitch, though, like the lines and the logistics of it.
Oh, I
but
bet. And it's a security risk. I mean, think about it.
yeah, you could get some crazy-ass people in there that... I mean, I'm sure they still have security personnel with them and all that,
Sure.
but you're not an official establishment, so I feel like something could slip through the cracks, but
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever.
All right, let's move on to the voicemails, huh?
Yeah.
What do we got this week, Sarge?
All right, so we have 5 now. We had someone call in last second. So we want. I know Ty on Instagram that's watching. He was like, "Hey, you didn't get to my voicemail." So these are from. Some of these are from last week. Some of these are from right now. But we keep calling in at 651 300 2129. We are going to do our best to get you on the show. But let's get right into them, boys. All right, so this is going to be Minnesota Wild related, all right?
Okay.
We ready?
Hey, I got a hot take for the Minnesota Wild this year. You know, with the 25th season of the Wild, I got a hot take as signing Mitch Marner or Brock Besser. Or actually, maybe going for a hot one here is signing. I know this is like last week's episode. I know, but signing Brad Marchand. You know, it'd be kind of cool. But I don't know how much money we would have to spend on all of them guys. But also, Twins are getting 11 in a row as of May 15th, 2025. Love the beer, boys. You guys bring the party down. Best beer in the world. My hat should be here in a couple days. I appreciate the streams, boys. You make the best streams. You know how it is. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But you guys are fucking fantastic, and this is Lamar. Just wanted to check in. And
Fuck yeah, Lamar.
the hottest thing that I'm
This guy hammers the captain's patch, by the way.
I was going to
I
say,
don't know. Well,
oh,
Colonel Sanders is at the Jets game. But go Wild, go Wolves, and
Say Colonel
OKC,
Sanders is at the Jets game?
AFC, UFC,
probably saw
Wolves
some
and
guy
Pats.
that looked
Till
like
then.
him.
Peace.
That guy is a beauty, though. He's always in
Yeah,
the
Lamar.
streams.
I was gonna
He's
say-
always like, it'll be like the second quarter, and he's like, I'm on my 5th captain's patch. And we're like, bro, you got to slow down.
And he was clearly drinking them there, too.
Yeah.
That was great.
Thank you, Lamar. We
Shout
freaking love you.
out.
We'll see you tomorrow. I know that.
Damn
Hey,
right
Mar.
we will.
All right, next one here.
Hi, so my name's Michael. I'm a diehard Minnesota Wild fan. So my off-season takes are, first and foremost, before anything else, fire every single team doctor that we have. As
I actually
players
agree with that
never seem to
one.
get better. And if Krill's injured again next season, it's the same injury for the last, 2-3 years now. And just look at what happened to McAvoy. Those are our doctors, and that should have been avoidable. That was avoidable in my opinion, but
Let him
I could
cook.
go on and on about how terrible our team doctors are. But then on a more positive note, I believe that we should sign Brock Besser, which I believe everybody thinks that. And then my take is I think we should bring back Ryan Donato, because I think he would add some scoring to the third and fourth lines. Then we'd have scoring through 1, 2, 3, 4. It would just, imagine that depth. And obviously with the additions of Urov and then getting Donato and Besser, I really do believe that's a championship team right there. The only thing that would concern me is the goaltending situation. Obviously, Gus can be an amazing goaltender, and Wallstead has high potential but had off season in Iowa, but I think he has great potential to be a good goalie, so maybe I don't see what we can do in goaltender wise, but I think we're scoring a lot of goals this off season or this upcoming season, and we're going to pick up a lot of goal scorers this upcoming season. We only need really 2-3 more players to really make a good run, and I really do believe we could have beat Vegas and made a great run this season, but we'll see what happens, and that's my take.
Love it. I love that I'm not the only one who's upset with the doctors. And
Yeah.
and I purposely tweet that all the time because it pisses off Jesse Pierce. She thinks it's a dumb take, but I'm like, well, why is everyone hurt all the time, Jesse? She gets really mad at me every time I do that, so I'm almost gonna have to clip this and send it to her and be like, see?
See, look at this. You're not the only one. I mean, that is a hot take.
It is, getting rid of an entire medical staff. But you know what? I think something I brought this up before that we don't talk about enough is who the number 2 goalie is going to be, because I don't think it's going to be Wallstead.
Not yet, at least.
He's going to have to look really good in camp. Or else
to put him in, because the number 2 goalie isn't the number.
it's not a backup anymore.
It's not a backup quarterback
No.
in the NFL where you don't play. He's going to play 25-30% of the games,
Yeah.
maybe. And especially if your top goalie gets injured, you got to be confident. I don't know.
It's a tandem league.
They might just have to bring back.
Dubnik.
Well, bring back Dubnik. Manny Fernandez. Is he still?
Oh, bring back
stretching?
Capo Kakinen.
Bring back Cabo Kakinen. And then who is the? I can't think of his name. He won the cup with Colorado.
Oh, Darcy Kemper.
Darcy Kemper. Bring him
He
back.
was with L.A.
Where's
Him and Cam Talbot, were they a tandem in L.A.? Just 2 former Wild goalies? I think I'm right. Chat? Am I
Chat.
right? I'm pretty sure it was Darcy Kemper and Cam Talbot were the 2 goalies for L.A. I'm about 99%.
He
They
played
were
for
at
the
one
Wings.
point.
What?
If you're talking about this year, Talbot was on the Wings.
That's right.
Ty says bring back Backstrom.
Yeah.
Oh, bring back Backstrom. Ilya Brizgalov.
Yeah, what's he doing these
The
days?
whole universe is so humongous big. I don't know. I don't know how old he is.
Manny
How old is-
Fernandez, remember, he got a Budweiser Zero can from
He did.
Ovi because he
Correct.
never let him score. He never scored on him. So
He's still.
Still got that.
Yeah. He might not want to come back. He wants to hold on to that record.
yeah, because you have to play against Ovi again.
All right, you guys ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey guys, at 10K Takes, love your content. Really appreciate what you guys are doing for Minnesota sports. My name is Craig Johnson, and I think my hottest take for the Wild off season is going to be, I think the Wild re-signed Kaprizov 8x15. I think that's step number one. It's a 4-step process. I think they're going to sign a veteran winger since obviously the dead cap is gone with Parise and Suter, which amounted to nothing. And thank God we're out of cap hell. It's about time. It's been frickin' 5 years in the fucking making, and it's about time that we actually sign some free agents. I think that the winger is going to be, I think they're going to bring Brock Besser home. I can definitely see that happening. Number 3 in the off season, I'd say that they sign a big defenseman. I think you let John Merrill walk, especially after his playoff performance. I think you sign a very big veteran defenseman, somebody possibly like Aaron Ekblad, who's going to be hitting the market. I think that you can sign a big defenseman to be able to put up solid numbers, not only just offensively, but defensively as well. I think you go with the Faber and William pairing to start off the year, and I think you put Spurgeon down on that third D pairing with Middleton. I think that that's just where we need to go in our plan for this offseason. And then I think step number 4, with the contract of Gustafson being in his last year, I think that the Wild are really going to either A, make sure that he gets paid and they let Rossi walk, or get offer sheeted in this case since he's an RFA. I think they either extend him right away and let Rossi walk, or 4B, I think that there's a chance Rossi gets extended on a bridge deal, probably 4 by 6.5, and they have Gus on a, all right, you're in the last year of your deal. Show us what you're worth. So those are my 4, well, technically 5, but 1 through 4A and 4B things and hot takes for the Wild offseason. Appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to this, and you bet, go Wild.
Yeah, it all makes sense other than maybe Ekblad. I think the defense is fine. I wouldn't touch it.
Yeah, I think we're going to spend the money going after centers and forwards. You don't really need to try to do that.
I would also extend Gus. I would get that done now.
Yeah, just
I think he played.
I thought he played.
So that's what I'm trying to understand.
Perfect
Like,
for the
as an
playoffs.
outsider, I don't think Gus was an issue really at all.
I don't think he was at all. And people kind of, I think, viewed him through a microscope on a couple of goals. I'm like, well, you could have pointed that out on Bobrovsky.
Yeah,
making those same
Bobrovsky
goals.
was horrible in the playoffs like 5 years ago. I don't know if anyone remembers, but
some people are bringing, when I've talked with people about this, like, well, do you see this goalie? He had a couple of bad goals. Well, every goalie
has bad goals.
We would be talking about him if he was kind of a liability like Dubnyk kind of was. We're just not getting over or controlling rebounds or like making bad decisions in the crease. Like, there was nothing I saw out of Gus that cost us a game.
He kept us in a lot of those games.
Correct.
Like, remember, was it game 3? I remember when we lost in overtime, he faced like almost 50 shots on goal.
Yeah.
And Vegas won that game 3-2. Like, it's not his fault.
No, he did everything he did. He did everything he needed to do for us, in his role, for us to win that series as far as goaltending goes.
Yeah. So I think you got to extend him.
Yep.
Let's go to the next one, Sarge.
Yep.
What we got?
All right. We got 2 more here. These are shorter.
What's up, 10K boys? Yeah, this is my Minnesota athlete. We have Wolves in 5, baby. Let's go. This is my athlete, Ant-Man Anthony Edwards. I hope we can do it in game 4. Let's go, T-Wolves.
Now, I can't tell. Is that a small child?
That is
or
a small child.
Is that a female?
That is without a doubt a small child.
Okay.
I was gonna say, yeah. Is that, I was okay. Did he say his name in there?
No.
Okay.
Probably good because he's 12.
Okay.
Might be the Stephen A. Smith of the Hood's son or something. Maybe
Yeah,
he's related.
he could be.
He was saying Wolves in 5 as well.
Yeah.
So it's a family of believers. No, I don't know. Yeah, kid, go Wolves. I love it.
Let's
I love
go.
the passion. Hey, especially if that's a younger child. And if we win, he's not gonna grow up like we did.
No.
With nothing.
You're not going to grow up as negative as we are, where
Yeah.
we just think every year is just going to be a
disaster.
and
He'll have a great experience.
a burning trash can, no matter how well they play in the regular season. So you're going to actually have a good childhood, kid.
Yeah.
Not be traumatized by this. by
Grow
our
up
state
actually
sports.
somewhat normal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, final one here.
How's it going, fellas? Big fan of the show. I've been following you guys for a while. Minnesota native, big basketball fan. That being said, Thunder in 5. Have a good one.
Oh,
What? That took a
oh
huge turn. Minnesota native, big basketball fan. Anyway, Thunder in 5.
What the hell? Is that a Thunder fan? How do we?
So either that's a Thunder fan, or he's
Genuinely believes a collapse is gonna happen.
or he's just genuinely a Minnesota pessimist, which is a valid movement in the state. But Thunder in 5, that's pretty aggressive. But you know what? I don't know, man. I guess it's not out of the realm of possibility. They lost last year in 5 games. I think this team's much better, but I don't know. I hope he's just being pessimistic. And you don't just have a Minnesota native who's a basketball fan that's somehow a Thunder fan.
He might be trying to reverse jinx it too.
He might be,
which I can also respect because because if we
yeah.
say Wolves and if we all keep saying Wolves in 5, they're gonna lose in 5.
Well, and like after game 1, when the Wolves kind of collapsed in game 1 without Curry being against the Golden State Warriors, when they didn't have Curry for like 3 quarters and they played that bad, I was thinking, oh no, this is a omen. This is a little bit of a preview. What's going to happen the rest of the series? They're not going to figure it out. They're going to lose in 6 games.
Yep.
And I was kind of getting all the negative thoughts again, like, oh, well, it was a good run again. And they ended up winning in 5. So maybe that negativity and that kind of aura around that is going to just cause you lower your expectations in Minnesota. So you don't get your hopes high that when they do lose, you kind of expected it and don't get as depressed. So maybe he's just trying to lower the expectations, not keep his hopes too high.
Undercommitted, over-deliver.
Exactly. In the corporate world.
Yeah.
So that's what you got to do with Minnesota sports. So he's already just preparing himself for for an inevitable collapse based on the sample size of our teams the last 30 years, which I can't blame him. So yeah, I don't know.
It's got to be it's going to be different. You just got to tell yourself it's hard to believe. You got to believe. You got to hashtag believe.
Got to believe you're in a conference final again. When was the last? Okay, before the Wolves, the last time we were in a round before a championship had to be the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
2017.
NFC Championship against the Eagles.
So now the Wolves are carrying our legacy as being a conference
The
championship.
Twins
team.
made it to the second round. That kind of fucking rocked.
That did fucking rock.
It did until that last game when they went through 10 pitchers. We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, it's a full bullpen.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that just about does it. Hey, if you want your voicemail to be featured on the show, even if you want to say Thunder in 5, that's fine. Sarge, we have the number for him.
Yep. 651-300-2129. 651-300-2129. We really appreciate you guys calling in, and we're going to do our best to get them on the show. So keep doing that. That shit's awesome.
Yeah, we'll also try to do a prompt each week. We'll put out a graphic that says what we want you to actually answer calling in. I think the wild offseason stuff was super interesting, especially the guy who just said fire all the team doctors. That was something I can get behind. But that just about does it for another episode of 10K TV, folks. Thank you so much for watching, listening, whether you're watching it live every Monday at 7 p.m. or you listen to it afterwards. We appreciate the support, and we will see you next week.